All right, hey guys, welcome back to Reality Radio Podcast. We're here with my friend Andrew Kirk, and we're about to break down the past two episodes of Survivor Worlds Apart, season 30. It's been a great season so far, an entertaining season, so I'm really stoked to touch up on these past two episodes.
It's been it's
Um,
been really good.
it's getting really good.
I
It,
liked I didn't like last season till the merge.
like last season, this season, it is funny how last season wasn't very entertaining cast. They were very like boring and kind of mellow, but their strategy was very entertaining. This season, I feel like their personalities are more entertaining than actual strategies because they're all like really. I know we were having this debate on Twitter about the blue team and who's the better competitor, but I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I said this to you guys, but they're all pretty bad. And if either one, if there was like a Jeremy or a Josh or a Natalie on this season, like none of these people would have it would just been shut down. But because they're all so bad and so like obvious, it's hard to pick like which one's good or not. Because like you put these in
At the same
perspective,
at
none
the
of them
same
are really that good.
at the same time, we have 11 left after last night. I see at least half of them potentially winning.
You see half of them
Still,
what?
I still see half of them as possible. Each of them being like potential winners.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's so wide open. I mean, it's not like Survivor Caramoan, fans versus favorite, when you pretty much knew once Philip went out that Cochran was going to win. This one, it's not. This one, there's so many possibilities of people who can win, and we can definitely get into it.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's why it in that and it's not because they're all so good though. That's what I'm saying. It's like because they're all like very. I feel like everyone's still trying to figure out their game, and they haven't quite set it. No one's really quite set yet. Well, I'm thinking like no callers may still be more. They seem to be forming more of a tight gameplay recently, but you feel like with the blue collar and then you have kind of white collar just floating around in there. So it's interesting in that sense. Um,
I
but
gotta
let's
ask
just
you.
take it back to last week real quick.
I gotta ask
And
you before we get into it. Before you saw last week's episode, how positive were you Shireen was going home?
not positive at all.
I thought it was gonna be. I was 100% sure that she was gonna go home before the episode aired last week because Max going home. She was. I think it was the title of last week's episode. Odd Women Out. She definitely was, and it was like in these past two episodes. Honestly, Wit, I've actually liked her. She's not as annoying with that. She's not as annoying as she was when Max was around. I feel like she's being herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to fit in with people.
Oh crap! What the heck? Oh. Um. Well, I feel like she's one of those people. It's like you have the two different. Well, we can actually compare what happened last week or the week before last when Max was voted out, and then compare it to Rodney's situation because you have Max and Shireen who were a duo and a very obvious one, and they weren't very likable at all. And Max and Shireen they got blindsided, and Max was voted out, and you see how and you can either take that and completely like blow up and want revenge and want and just like say like forget you guys or whatever, or go and throw a pity party or something, or you can kind of do what Sharon has done and just kind of be like, okay, well, let me switch things up, let me change my game plan because that's not working, and tone
Yeah.
it down. And that's exactly what she did in comparison to Rodney, who got blindsided because Joaquin was voted out, and he is
Which
like,
was great.
what do you say?
It was absolutely great. We'll definitely get into that. As far as
Yeah,
Shireen goes, I
so
feel like
there's
she's
a difference in ways of handling it.
after the Max vote. She's been playing. I mean, athleticism wise, obviously she's not the best, but she's playing a good strategic game from the point when Max got it out. I mean, she had a one-on-one conversation with Carolyn, and then she talked with Haley. I mean, she's given an effort to try to get along with these people.
Yeah.
Whereas Rodney, I mean, we didn't see it last night, but we're going to see it next week. He wants nothing to do with the people that screwed him over.
Hmm. Well, we still kind of saw that this week with him trying to create this little alliance with randoms. Like it's like him, Kelly, Will, and I think he approached somebody else. I forgot, and it was like weird. So
Carolyn.
Carolyn, he's still like doing Rodney stuff that's really off base and
Even
just weird.
I gotta say, as much as arrogant as he is, I hope he doesn't go anytime soon because he makes great TV.
Hmm.
Like
Oh yeah, that's
the guy has amazing one-liners, and is he playing a good game? Absolutely not. But he's funny, and I hope he sticks around longer than next week.
mhm. Well, I mean, there's a lot of with the merge now that there's a lot of possibilities of different people to vote out, which is benefits of a merge because now it's not just like 6 people that you're with. You have 11 people, so there's 10 other possibilities other than yourself that can be voted out. So I think he should be all right unless he does something really, really stupid. He should be
I mean,
okay.
both people that we mentioned, him and Shireen, I think it's both. If either of them go to final two, neither of them, based on the fact that both of them have pissed so many people off, I don't think either of them get votes.
Well,
Rodney,
first it depends on when first of all, it depends on when the jury starts,
my guess is next week.
and then once jury starts, and they're gonna be told that jury starts, so they should start playing a different type of game. Like, okay, let me try and maneuver myself this way. Let me not be so aggressive, but still be as effective. You see what I'm saying? So because that sometimes happens. It's like when you have to worry about jury, you can do all those crazy moves and still have that on your resume and not have those people that you backstabbed and lied to and manipulated come back to bite you. But you can still have those game moves and say, hey, I did this earlier on. Whereas now the jury starts, you can have to have a little more, finesse and be a little more sneaky and cleaner about things. But
Quick
well, I guess
sign
it
up.
depends on. I guess it depends on the cast. Cause there's some bitter juries, and then there's some people who are just like, it's a game, and you played a great game. So it depends. It just depends.
Quick side note: I kind of wish they would do what Big Brother does as far as juries goes, just to see what they're thinking before they make their votes. Because I mean, after they're in jury, they can't say anything. Wouldn't you want to see how Big Brother does? Like have them check in on the jury at Ponderosa.
Well, they do that on YouTube.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, they post the Ponderosa videos on YouTube, and so if you watch those, you'll see what they think about everything, which are really interesting. They were really interesting last season, I thought. But all right, so let's just get into last week's episode. Just a little touch up on some things. There was a bromance that happened between Joaquin and Rodney, which is very quick for him, but I can see it. I can totally see it. They're both very similar, and the way they So Joaquin is a lot more toned down, and he's a lot more chill. Whereas Rodney needs to calm it down a little bit. But
Oh, you're saying with Rodney? I was like, Joaquin's more chill.
yeah, Joaquin's
What?
more chill than Rodney. He's just like really low key, and Rodney's just running his mouth all the time. So that was such an obvious alliance, an obvious
Sunday Funday.
romance that it, it wasn't. I was so disappointed. I wasn't upset with the way Mike handled it because it was somewhat of a smart move. Maybe I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But the original plan was they were going to throw the challenge and get rid of Joe, which would have been an amazing thing because Joe, as far as they knew, had 3 people on no caller that he was really tight with, the girls and
Hmm.
Will. So, I mean, the original plan was throwing the challenge, even though I really don't like it when they throw challenges. Because last season we saw Drew Christie, such a throw the challenge, and he ended up getting voted out. So, last two times the challenge has been thrown on Survivor, we've seen it backfire on people that knew the challenge was getting thrown.
Right. And I get where Mike's coming from on his stance on that, because I was thinking one thing and saying another. On his stance from the wanting or being threatened by Joaquin and Rodney's closeness, I can see his stance on that. Although I didn't think it was as threatening just yet as he was making it out to be, where they need to throw a challenge. But going to throwing the challenge, Rodney brought it up, which was I'm just thinking, like, you don't do this. No matter how good you think you have it, let the other team kill each other off first, and then you can worry about your numbers on your, like, you can still worry about, still gather your numbers for when the time comes, you know? Like, I don't get why people like to rush things and try to jump ahead and say, okay, you're so good here, let's throw a challenge and try to get rid of this guy when he's not even really a threat right now. You see what I'm saying?
You don't think Joe was a threat?
Not at that moment, no. I think they had a lot of times to, I think I guess we didn't expect oh my God, what is it? We didn't expect the merge to be this early, which is really weird. But even still with the merge, they had Blue Collar, and they could have possibly had Joaquin on their side with the merge. So I felt like they just needed to play it cool and let the other team deteriorate, and they'll be all good. But they want to rush it, and Mike thought this was a stupid idea at first, but then he started thinking, well, if we throw the challenge, then that saves Kelly over there. She's like the lone blue person over there, and she's at more of a risk of being voted out than I am, so let me save her by throwing the challenge, and so that way, you know, we both can be safe. Which I feel like that was an interesting way of going about it. But what was your take on Mike's decision to throw it?
I mean,
and how freaking obvious it was.
Yeah.
Horrible.
And I was listening to Rob's podcast. I really love listening to the Survivor podcast that Rob Cesternino does. Were you surprised that Jeff didn't say anything?
Well, he was saying as much as he could.
Oh, Mike staring at a curtain.
Yeah, he was saying as much as he could. I mean, he can't like completely out the people,
because I know Jeff. I'm pretty sure Jeff's not a big fan of throwing challenges.
Probably not, but that was hilarious. I loved it because Kelly was not catching on to it until like later, and then she still couldn't figure it out to win. So Mike was just still having to go back and say, "Look, I'm gonna call them out for you," and she still couldn't get it, or he was calling them out wrong. I don't know which it was, but it was hilarious to watch.
I mean, she's coming off like 2 to 3 days from a concussion, so I'm thinking you got to give her a little slack there of why it took her so long.
For the memory thing, yeah, but I was like, how loud was he talking? I know they're mic'd up so we can hear them much clearer, but I'm thinking like it still looks like he's talking to her. Even if you can't hear it still looks suspicious. Yeah. Like it looked shady. So I don't get why no one called him out. And if someone did, I'm sure they would have shown it. So I'm pretty sure no one called him out on it. And that blows my mind.
None of Nagarote even knew that Mike was doing that, I don't think.
Which ones was Nagarote?
No collar.
The red tribe. The all-girl, okay, the all-girl tribe. Yeah, they were closer, though.
I gotta say, going back a little bit, the reward challenge was awesome to watch. It was back and forth, the whole same type thing.
Yeah.
The reward was kind of lame. The whole turtles thing
That was
really
a
didn't.
that was a reward.
It was like watching turtles Calais survive or some crap, and they had beef stew, mac and cheese, and hot chocolate.
Ew.
I've never had those three things together, and I probably never
No.
will.
That's like ew. Wait. Okay, that's random.
But back to the challenge. I mean, Mike was
That's a
making it
good.
so hot, and he. I felt like after the fact. I mean, I'm feeling when the minute he threw it, he was like, "Oh, we're gonna get rid of Joe." But then he realized, I think it was Sierra. Sierra was such a big player in last week's episode. Like, if it wasn't for her, I think Joe would have gone. If it wasn't for Mike and Dan convincing her in the weird way that Dan convinces Sierra to go on her side, I think Joe would. I think she would have stuck with Joaquin and Tyler and not even care about Rodney. But I think she'd stay on that side, and they would have got rid of Joe.
You know, my thing is that now I'm questioning Tyler's gameplay, because he let a good opportunity kind of slip. Although he wasn't really at he didn't really have to worry that much that one. So I guess maybe Joaquin let this one slip, because if he would have just kept this alliance with Rodney on the low, brought in Sierra and Joe, which Joe said that Joaquin and Tyler, they kind of brushed him off. They didn't want anything to do with him, which I thought was a huge mistake. Then they didn't even need Rodney. It would have been an easy vote, 4-2, and I mean 4-3. I think, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 4-3, and then that would have been that, and then you can kick off Mike or Dan, whichever one's you want. So that's why I don't get why they let that happen. Like they were so content with getting rid of Joe, and I don't get that.
Well,
So
it doesn't surprise me at all from Joaquin because Joaquin has played a clueless game from the beginning. I mean, his line was so in the beginning.
no, he wasn't clueless. I won't say he's clueless
It was
from
stupid.
the beginning.
Yeah, they did the whole neutral box thing, which went to backfire in his face. He tried to befriends Tyler and Carolyn, and that worked for a minute. And I think had they would have gone to tribal council again, Max would have went. But
Yeah, so he played a decent game. I wouldn't say it was clueless. Like he knew he was on the bottom, on the white collar tribe.
He was one of my least favorites on the show.
He knew he was on the bottom, and he made moves. He got in with Tyler and Carolyn, and they were. I feel like had they continued without the tribe swap, he would have been safe. So I think he played a decent game. It was just this moment messed him up, where he was so caught up in Rodney and getting rid of Joe, and I felt like that was probably more so Rodney's plan than Joaquin's, because of course Rodney's not going to want to get rid of one of his blue collar friends or allies, so he's like, all right, let's get rid of Joe, and he's thinking that he has everyone wrapped around his finger. So let's go to tribal, get this episode over with real quick. Another good blindside. Although I didn't really see it as a blindside. I kind of figured what would happen. Do you think Sierra made the right decision?
BBS was amazing.
When
they showed Sierra writing the J and the O, I forgot how to spell Joaquin's name for a minute, so I thought she was writing Joe's name. I was like, oh shit, she's not going to stick to her word. And she ends up voting out Joaquin.
Yeah.
Good. I give CBS
do you think she made the right decision though?
In that moment, I think so. Because Joe seems like he's a good guy. He seems like he wouldn't backstab. Had they gone further in the game for the tribe swap, I think Joe would have been loyal to both Dan and Mike, as well as Sierra. So I think it was the right move. Joaquin, just all season long, he's come off to me since the premiere as a shady person. Like if I was on the game, I wouldn't be able to trust him.
He's come off as a shady person. How?
Yeah, I feel like he's very untrustworthy. I mean, he lied in the very beginning
Well,
with
you
the whole.
can't trust any. Everyone's lying though. You can't trust anybody. Mike's
Yeah,
shady. Mike's shady. So Sierra shouldn't trust Mike either because they just screwed her over, and then now they're just bringing her back just because they need a vote, but they don't
yeah.
still trust her. They
The
don't think
edit,
she did that.
the edit is
So,
weird on Sarah and Mike.
so
Like
it's
she
so
said,
it's, everyone's kind of shady though.
yeah. The edit is really weird on Sierra and Mike because she said, oh, all the guys were pissed at me after our tribal council, and then she was like, everybody. Mike was kind of nice about it. Like, okay. And from what I remember after that tribal council, Rodney and Dan were the like leaders of getting in, telling Sierra she sucks at challenges. When honestly, and then we'll get into the next episode, I feel like she's in the best spot as far as blue collar goes. I think
Mm-hmm.
the ones that are remaining that are left are so arrogant and so annoying that I feel like unless they win individual immunity, they're going to go one by one. At least Mike and Dan. Rodney might stay a little bit longer, but
All right, well, let's just move on to the next episode. So we have the merge now, and the merge, something interesting is really happening. Well, kind of interesting. You say that you think that the blue collar is going to go one by one, but you have to remember now that I'm totally like just jumping ahead, but with the way tribal went down, white collar voted with blue collar and voted for Jen. So next
right.
episode, will they all stick together still, or will white collar break off, or would no collar be able to pull something off there? So that's why I don't know if your prediction is gonna be true, where blue collar will get voted off one by one. Yeah, they're arrogant and maybe sometimes annoying, but they still have numbers. So that's why it's really interesting. Cause I feel like they could turn on each other though. They're not loyal to each other at all, and
No.
they get on each other's nerves and get under each other's skin more than anything. So
Yeah.
so let's just jump into this episode. We have the merge and just coming together, looking at everyone. Who do you feel the merge at this point in time helped, and who do you think it hurt?
From the very first like segment, we saw so many like confessionals from Carolyn. I feel like the merge helped Carolyn the most. I feel like she and Tyler are in a spot where blue collar and no collar are going to go after each other that they're not even going to worry about the two of them in Shireen. So I feel like they're in a good spot. It hurt. I don't know if it necessarily hurt one person more than another. What do you think?
I think it hurt. I think it hurt the no collar. I think it hurt the no collars on. I think it hurt Jen, Haley, and Will more so than anything because Joe kind of created somewhat of a relationship with the blue collars, and Jen, Haley, and Will, they had the numbers on their other tribe. They had Carolyn coming over there. She didn't like Shireen. They had numbers going into there, and then once they got Shireen off, then they could have just voted Carolyn off right away. So I feel like they're the ones who got kind of screwed over in the merge because now they're on the bottom of the totem pole. It seems. Yeah, I mean, I guess
I feel like Tyler and Carolyn, they can easily switch back anytime they want.
anytime they want, but what would make
Like
them want to?
heck, they could go next week and stick with go with Rodney's idea and get rid of Mike. Like and it seems like in Survivor last season, especially last season, John and Jacqueline were the swing votes. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were in such a good position early on in the merge because whoever they voted from the tribe swap to the merge, whoever they voted pretty much went home. So I feel like those two for the first couple weeks until they get down to like single digits, whoever whoever side they side with, the person from either blue collar or no collar is going home.
I feel like
So
it's really. I
I'm gonna
think
let Tyler
that
as far as for who it helped.
I think it's.
Tyler would have been out next if there was an emerge from Eskamaka. I think Tyler would have been sent home next, which really would have sucked because I feel like everybody's a fan of Tyler on the show.
I think. What was I about to say? Oh, jeez. I totally forgot. Okay, I feel like the blue collar is really in control still, but so it's not necessarily. I guess white collar are the swing votes, and they can switch over to no collar. But I think they already made their choice of who they prefer to get rid of. So with that, blue collar can still, and also Rodney got Will to vote no collar to vote Haley. So
I
they have
wonder if
they
there's
have
any.
some control still, and I feel like if they just keep their cool, if they just don't turn on each other, don't make a scene every episode, just keep their cool and play this out, let it play out, instead of trying to force a move here that is unnecessary at this time, or trying to get out this guy who pissed you off that other day. So I feel like that's just what
It
they
would
need
make
to
really
do.
boring TV if they kept their cool though.
It would. It
I'm
would.
telling you. I mean,
But
it wouldn't be it would Dan keeping his cool. I mean, the dude freaking still isn't over the freaking Wave taking his underwear story. Oh my god! Like Rodney last week was like, man, if I hear that story one more time,
But if
like,
you have like interesting, if you're like a good game player, then people want to watch that. People want to watch good gameplay. So I feel like it would still be okay because they're still gonna be themselves. I'm just saying like to not like flip out on each other every time. You can still they're gonna still be idiots because that's just what they are, who they are. But I'm saying like don't like flip out on Mike and try to get him out, Rodney. Like that's you need to stick with him because no one else is gonna trust you right now as much as he does, and he probably doesn't even trust you that much. So that's why I'm just thinking like they just need to lay low and just let it play out.
Rodney, and I think I tweeted this last night to you with not Rodney, Mike. He seems like he's playing the Josh game right now. He feels like he has the whole game by the balls, and somebody sees it. It's somebody from his tribe, and they're like, "Oh, we got to get him out. He's a big threat."
hmm
Is he the biggest threat? I don't know. It's tough to say.
No, I think Joe's the biggest threat right now. He's still low key, which is helping him that he there's a Mike and there's a Rodney here and there's a Dan there because he's not even being thought of anymore really. Well, I guess those guys are thinking of him, but he still has white collar he can work with. He still has Haley and Jen he can work with. So I think that he's like the biggest threat, but he's so
Yeah.
silent. He's so silent, and no one's even really giving him that. They're looking at him as like a gamer, like as a physical competitor, but they don't realize that he actually can make moves. Hopefully he is going to, and he's just in his head and we haven't seen it yet, because he is being overshadowed by these big personalities. So, but I think that he's a huge threat. Not necessarily Mike. Mike is just so obvious, and which isn't good. Which isn't good. So, all right. So let's go into the game, the immunity challenge.
First, the name. Do you like the name?
America.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know why people clown on it. I like the name. I don't think it's any. Why should it be anything different?
During's confessional is pretty funny, and I almost agreed with her for a minute. He's like, "How stupid can you guys be? We're called America, not America."
America. It's I
It,
like the name. I think it's
it fits the theme perfectly
red,
because
white, and blue. Why not?
it's all three colors, you know.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be some like exotic, African name or something. Um, so let's get to the immunity challenge, which is really good. I love these types of challenges where it's all about like, how bad you want it. Are you willing to do
Yeah.
everything you can to get it?
Jeff said
How much
that.
heart do you have in this game?
Yeah. Jeff said that this challenge has been done a lot. Do you remember the last time this challenge was done? I don't believe it was
No,
last season.
no, but it has been done a lot
Yeah.
because I remember it, but I don't remember what
He
challenge.
said that 3 guys and 3 girls have won it. So I mean, it's been done 6 times in 30 seasons. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
I think the last season I watched on Hulu, Cook Islands, I think they did that.
mhm.
I think
Yeah,
Ozzy won that.
it's a great challenge to really, especially as like a first immunity challenge. Like you're really putting out there, like, okay, who wants this, and who's gonna go tooth and nail to get this. And it came down to Joe and Carolyn. Everyone else was just, at first it's like people dropping like flies. You have Dan out right away, then Will to follow, and then it starts pouring down, raining, which is horrible for this type of
Jen,
challenge.
Jen gets stung.
Jen gets stung in a very,
Where,
very
where
unlikely place, which I feel bad for her. But the
oh,
funny thing is, I turned on, because like I said, I was switching back and forth to American Idol, and
where did it sting
I
you?
turned, I turned it to I turned it back to the Survivor, and all I saw was like a close up of Jen's face, and she was like, I don't know what she was doing, because I just saw her hand down here, and she was just like, and I'm like, what the heck is going on with this girl? And it was just hysterical. But poor
Where did
Jen. That's got to be the worst thing.
Jen? Right where my hand is, Jeff.
That's got to be the worst thing. Um,
Yeah.
but it comes down to Joe and Carolyn, and Joe ends up winning. He's such a very like limber guy. He's so, he's not like, he doesn't have a lot of like muscle on him like Rodney. He's very like, just like, has like this swimmer type body, very
Mm-hmm.
lean.
Mm-hmm.
So good for him. I think those types of body type works on these challenges. Whether you're a guy or girl, those, I feel like Vince would have been another one who probably would have been good at this challenge too. Um, so Joe wins. Good for him. He was the biggest target, as he should be, because he is a big threat. He So now it comes down to Jen and Haley. Because no one sees Will as a threat, and so it comes down to Jen and Haley. And what is your take? What do you think what do you think about them? Now, what's your take on the way things panned out with, with Will getting approached about, and then turning on the no callers, getting approached about voting out Jen or Haley, and then turning on the no callers? Like,
I
what do
mean,
you think that?
don't you? I mean, after Nina got voted out, I thought Will was tight with those 3. Didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I assumed. I didn't think it was tight. I felt like they worked together when the tribe swap, because they needed to work together. But I wouldn't say they were
And
tight.
I told Stefan this. I feel like eventually Will would have had to choose somebody else to align with, because
Hmm.
the best that he could get is 4th place between those 4. Because if it came down to those 4, they'd vote Will out before anybody. So I mean, he'd have to turn on them eventually. But this was too soon. I mean, very first merge, for a chance to get at the merge. I mean, it makes you wonder what happened that we didn't see when they were no caller.
I think, I just got, because there's people who I feel like are in the middle, and those people can come together and take control of the game, and that's Will, Sierra, Shirin, Tyler, and Carolyn. That's 5 people right there. So you can have a group of 5 if they uh, actually got together and worked together and to really take over this game because they're right now they're like they're at the bottom of someone else's alliance. Like you have Sierra, who's at the bottom of the Blue Collar Alliance, and you have Will, who's at the bottom of everything because he's not with Blue and he's not with, and he just betrayed No Collar. So either which one he joins, he's gonna be at the bottom. Then you have Tyler and Carolyn, who are in their own little 2-person alliance. Then you have Sharon, who again is just kind of there. So I feel like if they got together and grouped up, the 3 no callers and the 3 blue collars go at each other, and then those 5 can just get out whichever one they want and just keep playing it that way. But I doubt that'll happen because
It
stuff like that.
it begs the question. It begs the question. I was listening to the Survivor Know-It-Alls last night. Why didn't they split the votes on Jen and Haley? I mean, had they done 4 for Jen, 3 for Haley, Jen plays her immunity idol, it would have been a tie. Then I think they would have been able to get Haley out. No, wait a minute. Jen would have had 4 votes. Haley would have had 3.
Yeah.
Oh no, Kelly still would have gone out. Because Kelly would have had 4 because of no collar and string. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they could have. You never know who has an idol. But
Yeah.
you want to go full forward with someone and just be like, you know what, let's just vote them out and just hope that they don't have one. Because if splitting votes, you can leave a gap open for someone to be like, okay, they're splitting their votes, so let's try something here instead of just like going all in and saying, okay, we want this person out. So I'm guessing you just go to tribal. It was very interesting. I enjoyed it because I wasn't expecting this to happen. So I totally forgot that Jen had an idol. That's why I totally forgot that she had one. She found one when they were slaughtering the chickens. And
she finally told somebody about the idol.
Who'd she tell?
Which it surprised me it took her so long because
she told who?
Remember last season? She told Haley.
Oh.
And I think whoever would have been the target, that's where the idol would have went. And I think had Jen won immunity and Joe was in danger, she would have played the idol for Joe.
Yeah.
So either way, no caller would have been 3 strong plus Serena after this episode, regardless of what would have happened in the immunity. I think.
Yeah, that was a great moment, man. I saw that and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing because you can just see the look on everyone's face as soon as you played that idol, and then as Jeff was reading out the names, it was just so perfect, and I'm like, I love how they're like celebrating at Tribal, but it's like, calm down, girl. You still have a lot of game to play, and they can still come back next week and take you out. So you just gotta chill. But I love that they were just like so like excited, and everyone else is so shocked and didn't know what to do. And Kelly went home.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I thought Kelly was gonna go far too. So.
Yeah, me too. Especially after the whole injury, because she could have used that as a crutch to keep around longer. But and I know I was talking about this with Stefan tonight and this morning. It's so weird that neither Mike or Rodney have been in danger yet. Because they both run their mouth so freaking much. And yet they haven't even had a vote cast. Well, Rodney had votes cast against him in the first tribal council. But since the tribe spot, neither of them have been in danger. It's just, it's odd to me.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
And the biggest thing is, once the jury starts, and I'm assuming it's next week, it's a good thing they got rid of somebody from Blue Collar because Blue Collar would have had 4 people in the jury, and if somebody from Blue Collar
That
moved
doesn't
in,
necessarily. I don't think that's a necessary vote though. The way they have issues with each other, I think Sierra wouldn't vote for Rodney or Mike or Dan. Well, she may vote for Mike, but I don't think she would vote for Rodney or Dan for
yeah.
to give them the $1 million. So I don't know. And Rodney could be bitter. I could see him being a very bitter juror and not vote for Mike if he
I was
for what he did with Joaquin. So
you know how big of a Jen fan I am. I picked her to win in the beginning. I said because people are gonna overlook her, but I'm sticking by it. I really think she has a good chance. I mean, they still think Joe's the bigger target, and if they don't get Joe out in a couple weeks, I could definitely see Haley going before Jen. I like it, and another one I think is good. I think your winner pick is good too. Carolyn's not going to be in danger anytime soon.
Kelly and Tyler are looking all right.
And
Kelly and Tyler are looking all right.
Once Carolyn is in danger, it'll be down to single digits. It'll be before the final 5, and she'll be able to play her immunity idol, and she'll be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Jen. I like Carolyn. I don't think any of the blue collars have a decent chance of winning anymore. Because I feel like none of them bring anything.
Sierra could win. If she starts making moves and playing.
If she's
playing
with,
games, she makes it in the final 3. She could win.
If she's with Shireen and Dan, Sierra wins hands down. If it's with any other combination, I don't see her winning.
Yeah. If she starts doing things instead of just being there, because right now she's just there and she's just kind of going where the majority is. So if she starts making moves, like I'm telling you, she should line up with White Collar and Will and start doing something.
Until episode 4, I had no idea who she was. I totally had no. I knew Blue Collar had girls, but I didn't really know the name. The only girl I knew her name on Blue Collar was Kelly. Up until the
I knew Lindsay. Lindsay was very with that Mike Tyson tattoo. I can't get over that. All right. So one other thing that we were really arguing about, or debating about online was whether the no callers were right to go for Kelly instead of Mike or Rodney. What's your take on that situation? Do you feel like they made the right decision, or they should have got one of the guys out, one of the alpha male guys?
It's a double-edged sword. I mean, I feel like Kelly would have made it longer than the guys would, and had she made the final 3 with the right combination,
she would have won. I feel like
she would have won.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Mike I mean, I feel like Mike's playing a good enough game where
he's making a lot more moves than her. And that's what they need to. Because I said that she is going to be someone you worry about later down the line. So you might as well just get her out now instead of trying to get her out later. So but Mike is someone who's very obvious and he's very loud and very much in your face with his moves. And Rodney is too. So it's like they're always in your face. You always know that they're the enemy. You always know, okay, now we can go for this guy. Now we can go for this guy because you know that they're going to come for you. Whereas Kelly, she could be playing you like the girl said they didn't trust her. So it's like she could easily be playing a lot of people and just end up in the final 3. That's why I feel like she was more deadly.
Like the girls that are left I don't see any of them going home the next couple weeks. I see the next few weeks, unless it's Jen or Haley. I don't see Carolyn going home anytime soon. I wish Shireen would go home because she was kind of like, yeah. Like she doesn't really bring much, so I kind of wish she'd go home, but I don't see her going home anytime soon. And I don't see who's the only girl left, Sierra. I don't see either of those 3 going home anytime soon. I feel like the next couple weeks are going to be guys. Next week it's going to be either Mike or Joe, and then whoever doesn't go home unless they win immunity, it's going to be the other one the week after that. It's gonna be fun.
A lot changes. A lot changes.
It's gonna be
So
fun to watch.
it's gonna be a great season. It is a great season. So I'm really looking forward to next week. And are we sticking with our predictions? Our predictions are still in the game. You're predicting Jen. I'm predicting Carolyn. They're looking. Jen's actually looking really strong now. Before I was like, she's just kind of ditzy, but she's looking really strong now. And Carolyn's always kind of looked like a gamer. So it's gonna get interesting. The guys are just running their mouths and like chopping each other's heads off right now. So the girls are looking
in a better position than Jen, to be honest, because the people on the seasons have been learning this from watching other seasons. They like the mom that's on the show. They like the mom because they're like, oh, she'll take care of us. She'll make sure that we're fed and stuff like that. Because Missy, I think that's why Missy stayed as long as she did last season. Don't you think? It's because she was like the nurturing type. So I think, I mean, other than the fact that she's very athletic, I think Carolyn's going to stick around a while because they like the guys like the mother character.
Yeah, I can see that. So I think that's all. That's about it. That's all we have to cover. I think it was really good 2 episodes. Rodney's trying to get rid of Mike next week. It could be all editing, though. It could be all editing. That's what I'm big on. These previews are always like very, they like to steer you one way and then bring you back another way. So
I like that. I really do. Like, I wish the challenge would do that more, because the challenge is so freaking obvious. Who's going home, who's gonna win. But Survivor, you never know what's gonna happen.
Very obvious. So,
who do you think, with Jen's idol out, do you think they put a new idol in play? And will there be 2 idols up for grabs because Blue Collar never got an idol?
Could be. Well, no, Blue Collar had one. They just never found it, I don't think.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still out there. So there might be 2 idols out on the island for them to look for next week.
Yeah. We'll send it. That's what they're doing. They're looking for the idols. So it should be a good episode next week. And that's all for our discussion on reality radio. And thank you, Andrew, for coming by and talking with me. And thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow us at Reality Radio Pod to catch up on all of our other discussions. Check out our blog, talkrealitytv.blogspot.com. Andrew, where can people reach you at?
At CQA Kirk, and then the blog is bigtimerealitytv.blogspot.com. I'm working on a Champions versus Challengers fantasy challenge for Runes 2 for season 27. I think with the group of people that I have on the list, I think it'd work. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't finished yet. I'll probably finish it either today or tomorrow or sometime next week. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Everyone can look for that.
Yeah, I have a sports blog that I'm starting now, where I'm gonna do recaps of sporting events I go to, whether it be college, minor leagues, or professional. I'm going to a couple A's games, one this weekend, and then we haven't got tickets yet, but it's looking like one next week, and then a Giants game the week after. So that one is Ace Kirk Sports Recaps at .blogspot.com.
All right, cool. That's awesome.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming on, and thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.